Some people have surprisingly forgot how to find domain and range, but this is on Friday's test, okay? So I'm going to go back over this worksheet to help you remember how to do it. So remember, if you see an arrow going both ways, that means infinity. There's an arrow that's going all the way this way, all the way that way. So this one is all real numbers, written like this, or you can write out all real numbers. What you will definitely see on Friday's test is one like this and the other three that I'm going to go over. So please make sure you pay attention and try to understand as best as possible. Remember, your domain goes, we draw our line on the left, then we draw our line on the right. And domain is focusing only on the x-axis. So I go to the left, I draw my line, go to the right and draw my line. I'm trying to figure out where this line touches the x-axis. So my domain is going to start with a -2 here and a 4 over here. Now when I fill in the middle, I'm definitely using x because it's domain. However, this -2 is lined up with this closed circle, so I need to add the equal to for the closed circle. However, over here, the 4 is lined up with an open circle, and since it's an open circle, I do not add the equal to. So that's my domain. Now the range is going to be the low part of my graph. So I go down to the bottom of the graph, I draw a line here for the low, and then a line here for the high. The range is from low to high. The range is the y, from low to high. So where does this line touch the y-axis? -3. Where does the line up here touch the y-axis? At the 3. I'm definitely using a y. Remember, they could use f of x if they want to trick you. So this -3 is lined up with the closed circle, so I will use the equal to for the closed circle. This one up here has the open circle, so I will not use the equal to for that one. Okay. Remember, this is just a review, so if you think I'm moving too fast, you might just want to be in tutoring. Okay, here we go. So this one over here, once again, domain is when I draw my line on the left and draw my line on the right. As long as there's no arrows, I can draw these lines because that means my graph does not have any part over here and the graph is not over here. So where do these two lines touch the x-axis will be the domain. So that's -5 and that's at 2. I am talking about domain, so I'm using x. Everything is closed circles, so I'm just using my equal to all the way around. Oops, sorry. I'm using my equal to all the way around. Now I'm looking at the range. The lowest part of my graph is here, which means there's nothing else down here but empty space. The highest part of my graph is up here, which means there's nothing else. This is just all empty space up here. So where does the lowest touch the y-axis? Now I'm concerned about the y-axis for my range. The lowest is -2, the highest is 4. Like I said, everything is closed circles, so I'm using the less than or equal to. Remember, you will always use less than or equal to as long as you have no arrows. Because on this one, there is definitely an arrow, which means you might not use the less than or equal to, okay? For this one, it does say find domain only, but I'm also going to find range for the testing purposes. So, once again, for domain, I usually draw a line on the left and the right. However, I can't draw the line on the left because of this arrow. So I'm just going to draw the line on the right to see where it touches the x-axis. So I know my domain has to have a 3, because that's where it touches the x-axis, okay? I just need to figure out, is my domain or is the graph using up things that are more than 3 or less than 3? It's using things that are, look at the x, this graph is over here where the x-axis is less than 3. So it should be x is less than or equal to, because the closed circle, less than or equal to 3. All right, so that's the domain. However, also I'm going to find the range. So the range is the y from low. So the lowest part of the graph is right here, but I can't draw a line high because of this arrow. It stops me from drawing a line up here. But I do know that my range has to have, that's actually at the 6. I know my y value has to have a 6. I just need to figure out, is my graph above the 6 or below the 6? This graph is using up things on the y that are higher than 6. So the range is going to be the y is greater than or equal to 6. All right? So please keep that in mind as you're doing your test review and as you are studying for Friday's test. Thank you. Have a great day.